You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
20 years?
Yeah.
25 years?
Yeah, 30 maybe, 20.
Yeah, I mean,
30.
still, like, that's why I
still,
said, a couple years from now, we might be doing this podcast even more so on the internet in the virtual space, or at least an episode of it. If we could do an episode IRL, I don't see why we could do one as virtual avatars when it becomes accessibly cheap and common.
That's true.
Damn,
And then you can buy our NFT.
The further we go on that track, though, then the IRL episode is going to become real interesting.
Like us is just our normal play.
Yeah.
No, I was saying that, like, if this becomes just like avatars, and then our IRL shows are the same, then it's like but everybody's avatars. Then not only is it different in the sense that we're doing something different for our podcast, but we're also like in a real life video. Because if you think that the metaverse is going to be like, if it ends up being this all-encompassing thing, I don't see why you wouldn't, like, all your TV would be in it, all of your shows. So, like, everything would be avatars.
All your entertainment would be,
Yeah, there wouldn't be much media of, like, real people. Unless
that's
it was, like,
interesting. Like, that could get to that point. Like, I mean...
Or, like, they show you the video of somebody getting murdered in the metaverse.
TV in Grand Theft Auto.
I just saw a video on YouTube of a guy who is in VR. He's, like, in a green screen room or whatever. He goes into his virtual room, and he plays the Grand Theft Auto remake, or whatever. Does he play? Maybe he plays the original version. Either way, he sits down in front of a TV that's not there and plays it on a TV that's not there, and is basically streaming to you his view of his old apartment. It's like nostalgia, and he's sitting down in his old apartment in front of an old TV playing Grand Theft Auto 3 like it's for the first time. And I was like, but there's a video. He's in the green screen room. He's just chilling in his pajamas with like an Oculus on.
That's weird.
And I was like, that's interesting that like this is, I get that that's content right now. Like why someone would film that, because you film everything, you know?
Sure.
But at the same, what I don't get is like, I wouldn't want to sit down in my old virtual apartment and play Grand Theft Auto. I mean, it's cool in theory.
Is he playing, or is he just watching himself play in?
Oh no, it's his eyes, and he has a controller. He's in VR, and he's playing it on a TV in VR.
I have to see it.
Yeah,
I'm like a little confused, like because there's so many layers to it.
Yeah, basically he's in VR. There's no TV in the real world. There's a controller. Obviously, he has a controller.
Right. But the TV's in his Oculus.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But he's in the
room.
room.
What's the controller hooked up to?
It's, I'm assuming, just like a wireless addition to the VR thing where you can just sync up a controller.
Yes, sir. I got my cheat codes. You know how we rocking? R2, L1, R2, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. Let's go. Bet. I did that without even looking, boy. Stop playing with me. What we got here? Yeah, the flamethrower. You already know how I'm rocking. And you know how I'm rolling. Stop playing with me. Tommy Vercetti in this bitch. What's up? I gotta get rid of this glare, y'all.
I don't get the appeal of
Much
playing it in the
better.
green screen room.
What?
You back at it.
I guess if you're just like, well, because there's, I think I could understand the
Can't
idea
run,
of,
officer.
like, wanting to experience something from like your childhood or something like that. Like I've sat and thought about times when like I would be watching Rod play video games in our house in San Angelo, and it's like, it might be interesting to like do, like I wouldn't play all my video games like that, but it might be an interesting thing to be like, oh, that'd be cool to play FIFA 13 or something like that, but then play it in like the environment that you were in at the time.
Yeah, like if I got my brother into a virtual reality meta universe and he was sitting down playing Grand Theft Auto 3 on an old TV, and I could be in my old, bedroom sneaking out to, I used to crack the door open and like watch him play, and then I'd be like a cat. I would sneak closer in the dark and watch him play Grand Theft Auto because I'm not supposed to be awake. I'm a child, But I'd sneak in there and I'd be like, "Ooh, he's fucking running people over. This is intense." You'd be playing vigilante missions for hours until like midnight. I'd just be watching through the bars of like the little day bed, like a little cat person, trying to be as sneaky as possible, like every child who's supposed to be asleep.
Yeah, we shared a room, so it was really easy for me.
You're up on the bunk.
I would just be up on the bunk and I'd just watch them. Yeah,
I was in a separate room, so I'd have to like sneak to the den.
I could see that.
But even then, I can't imagine recreating that in VR for my benefit.
This
seems absurd.
I feel like it's a showcase of what living in a virtual reality space would be like, in the sense of like, you know, like I wouldn't just play video games like that, but it shows you like how
you could live your life.
You could live your life in a VR type setting. Like, come to my house, man. Let's play video games and stuff. And you're like, yeah, like, come over. And then, like, your friend comes and y'all sit on the couch and you play games together. And like how you would interact with an environment and other people. Like, it's like a game. Like, it's kind of like how Grand Theft Auto is. Like, you're playing a game within a game. Mm-hmm. You know. And so I like they're part of the game, which is be like, we're hanging out in virtual reality. Do you want to play some Grand Theft Auto while we're here? I can see that. The only other application I could see is if you had like a sick ass mansion or something, you know, like if you wanted to sit there and play on like a 75-inch TV or something, you know, like have some experience like that. But it almost just seems like, why not just get in the game? Like, you know, I don't ever really see why you want to have that barrier. That was the whole point in the VR, was to remove the barrier of you watching the TV, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I guess you could just be in a virtual, like you can take your virtual reality and be like, all right, I want to play in Grand Theft Auto in an IMAX auditorium.
Right, you know, something like that. But then
that seems like it would be appealing.
But if the goggles are just the game, then that's already like,
it would be more like doing
immersive
it what
as
that
you
guy
can.
was doing, like when you had the little running station and he's got the VR, but like when he turns. The dude with the gun turns, like you know, like you're playing the game.
Yeah, like,
and so like you said, like that was kind of the whole point of VR.
Right.
So it seems interesting. Other than the nostalgic part of it, I don't see any reason to
it's
do
like
that.
watching somebody like pull their car with a horse.
Right, exactly. Like you have the
Great
car so
analogy.
that you can get rid of the horse.
It's a good analogy. But then again, like, you know, I enjoy like old technology.
Yeah.
So there is I guess there is some nostalgia factor with
I feel
like,
that.
oh, I'm gonna play Grand Theft Auto on a little TV,
Like the way
in
I
virtual
used to.
reality.
Yeah, like
Used to do
PS2
it.
version and
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, I used to have a Dreamcast in my garage, but that's
Yeah.
you know, we're talking real world stuff now, where
Yeah.
it's like I used to go out to a shit TV, to a little Dreamcast in like 2014, and you know, play Street Fighter or whatever, and the graphics suck and it's cold and it's like a tiny shit little TV, but it's like that's what you're playing it on, so it felt.
Why were you doing that in 2014?
Well, because we just had this extra shit TV in the garage, and everybody would smoke cigarettes, and I quit smoking cigarettes for a period. So I was like, I'd come out there and like, you know what I mean, just like play some Dreamcast while they're all doing whatever on their phone. They were playing some whatever the game was. I see that you caught that.
I didn't do anything. I thought like
Yep, that was some dude perfect.
I didn't do
action there.
anything there. I tried to fucking put the cap on or take it off or something, and it rolled all the way down my arm and then just rested
Settled.
there. Yeah.
There and like, you know what I mean, just like play some Dreamcast while they're all doing whatever on.
I'm gonna find that when I go back and do the edit.